Marketing is really just about communicating things to people. Like a lot of companies, they want to say something to people, but they don't really know how to do it. They're experts in what they do, but they don't really know how to communicate it to people in a way that makes sense. And so we pretty much just take people's ideas and communicate them in a broad sense. And usually with not always with like a motive, but just trying to communicate like who they are. Sometimes you're trying to get a specific message across to a specific, demographic. And it's just, that's kind of what it is. It's like a puzzle of words and thoughts and pictures and stuff like that. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
So every media that we work with has a different approach to the artwork, but it's all going to be visual in some form or fashion. When it comes to websites, people are very accustomed to seeing a phone number in the upper right-hand corner of the website. Knowing that when we help a client design their website, we want to make sure that we make the website fit those expectations of a customer. When it comes to traditional media like a billboard, the past saying was you had 7 words in 7 seconds because people were driving at 60 miles an hour down the interstate. Now they're driving at 70 or 80 miles an hour down the interstate. So you really only have 6 words or 6 seconds. You can't put small type on a billboard. You have to think about what people are really going to be looking for so you can design that artwork and put the information that people are going to remember on that board. When it comes to digital ads, the way that you word those ads depends on what digital media you're working with. For instance, Facebook will only let you word it in certain ways. You can't call out people or call out traits about people. And then you can only use so many words in an image on social media. Where your billboard is going to have words on it, you can only have so many words on the actual image in social media. So making sure that you don't have images that are too busy, that draw the eyes in the right place, and that you can work with graphic designers to make sure that those images convey a brand's personality and their brand image while at the same time getting the right information out to the clients.
It's very important to be good at, English, reading, writing. Being able to communicate well is very important, and speak eloquently, to be able to write in a way that people can read and easily understand. You need to have a good understanding of math, especially if you're going to do marketing strategy and budgeting and things like that. So, and it doesn't have to be difficult math. It doesn't have to be calculus. It can just be statistics. Basic algebra is really important. And then also just any type of communication classes that you can take, business associated classes, anything like that. And then also those core computer classes. So if someone's interested in design, learning how to do, the Adobe Suite type things like that. And then also if they're more interested in strategy or accounting, they would really want to look into getting good at operating Excel and things like that. So
the eagerness to learn and be teachable, that's probably the most important trait. And I went to Mississippi State, and the art department at Mississippi State, there were some really talented people. They were not teachable, and they did not do well. It's like you can have as much just natural ability as you want. If you're not teachable and you're not receptive to like critique, then you're not gonna go very far. You kind of have to be a little bit humble, like you have to be a weird blend of like confident but humble, I guess, if that makes sense.
For a copywriter in Mississippi, you're probably looking at $20,000 to $30,000 a year on the low end when you first get started. They're not always super high paying jobs there. Sometimes if you get in with a good company, you can get some great benefits, and so that's always helpful. As far as the pie in the sky, you can be looking at being a chief marketing officer at a Fortune 500 company, and you will be making a very, very nice salary in the hundreds of thousands or millions there. So really it ranges as to what exactly you want to do and how far up you want to go. And so your education there depends on that. Are you looking at going into sales, or are you looking at being the CMO of Apple or IBM? What's your goal there? And so that determines where you want to be as far as education goes and also experience. And then there's somewhere in the middle where you work as the chief marketing officer for a smaller company, marketing director, social media director, or even owning an agency. And those salaries can vary. Graphic designers, I think maybe you're in the 60 to 70,000 range, and marketing directors can be in that same range depending on the area.
One of marketing jobs is to sort of analyze trends and growth. That's pretty much our job, is to sort of look at what is changing, how things are, like how the world is changing, how people interact with different things. Like maybe like a few years ago, kids weren't always on Instagram. Now everybody's on social media, so social media is a huge part of marketing right now. So
I get bored really easily with monotony, and it's not a monotonous job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, there's a lot of different scenery and a lot of different like companionship, and it's cool. That's the part that I like the most. I think that makes it worth it even more than just like money you can make or, you know, things you can create. It's just like being around people and like using what they know and what you know and making something that like people realize like, oh, that's really good. You're like, thank you. I appreciate that. We worked really hard on it, you know, so.
I've always been a creative person. I love music. I love art. I used to draw animations all the time. And so, yeah, I just love being in a field where I can just be creative all the time and get paid for it. Yeah.